In our lives, almost all of us have faced or will face some medical condition or another. Whether it's ADHD, migraines, recurring lower back pain, asthma, we're dealing with something as dire as MS or cancer. Or maybe we're totally healthy, but we have a loved one who's coping with something long-term. What do you do when you can't find answers to the questions you're asking? What if doctors or even family members don't take you seriously? Where do you even begin?
I didn't connect the dots, and I was starting to say things like, I just have like a really kind of messed up immune system. I always get sick.
As we were thrown to battle, you got to start educate yourself about the situation, which is really tough because there's so much going on.
And I was driving around all over the place to different therapies and at the same time reaching out on the internet to all sorts of different parents about, what else did I need to know about my kid?
When it comes to chronic illness, it can be hard to get answers, or even sometimes a diagnosis. But what if someone like you could tell you what they've learned the hard way? I'm Dina Kraft, host of The Patient Is In, a new podcast from Stuff That Works, a platform helping patients find treatments that work together. At The Patient Is In, we tell stories about what's possible when people are empowered to be advocates for their own health or the health of their families.
I think being proactive is key because once you learn about the disease you're dealing with, especially if it's a rare one, and you ask the right questions, just by asking the questions, it can alter the journey ahead of you.
In that way, I learned that it's really important to trust your gut, even if you're standing up against a doctor who is wearing a white coat and, went to school for a million years for this, and all you have is Google.
In our show, we'll talk to people living with chronic illnesses like depression, diabetes, Crohn's disease, and chronic fatigue syndrome, and also experts like doctors and psychologists. Always, our focus will be on the person, their journey, and their experiences as a patient, and what they've learned along the way. Subscribe now to The Patient Is In on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform. And take charge of your own health by checking out stuffthatworks.co, where people like you are coming together and transforming their experience into measurable data that can help everyone figure out which treatments work best.